Hi, welcome back to Reading with Manny. I'm Manny, I'm a teacher and I enjoy talking about books here. Now today I'm going to do my reading wrap-up for January and February. I didn't do one for January because I only read 2 books in January and I thought it was pointless. However, you'll see now that I've caught up with my reading goal of 50 books for the year because I actually read 8 books in February, which is unheard of. We'll see if we can keep it up. It's doubtful because I start classes next week. But anyway, so let's get through this quickly because we do have 10 books to talk about. So the first one that I read was Infinite Jest. This is the reason why I only read 2 books in January, because this is massive and difficult to read. Both things. I don't even know how to describe this book. I have a whole reading blog about it, which I'll link in the cards up there, in case you want to see me losing my mind over this book. It's difficult to read, and it's also, it's about difficult subject matters at times. It's also quite funny, I should say. I did laugh reading this book, but yeah. And the ending just, yeah. I was going to tell you what this book is about, but yeah, I don't think... First of all, I still don't think that I can tell you what this book is about. And second, maybe it's better if you go in not knowing anything, because you'll be confused anyway, so yes. Yeah, Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. That was book 1. It took me like 20 days to read, so yeah. Then I read this lovely short story collection called The Hunting Season. It has 8 stories by 8 different authors. I love some of them because I had already read their books, like Natasha Pulley, who, if you're new here, she's my favorite author of like recent times, but yeah, I love her. Bridget Collins, who I also love, and Laura Purcell, that was the other one I had read from. And then I'm super intrigued about some of the others. In fact, I'm planning to read The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, who also appears in this one. These are all kind of spooky stories, that's why it's called like The Hunting Season. So it's kind of like mystery, horror, thriller mixture. Most of these are like set in a Victorian time, or like at least it gives you that vibe. So I love this. Very, very much recommended. So yeah, I think I'm getting an allergy flare-up, so if my voice starts sounding weird, that's what it is, because I'm sneezing and I'm cutting that out because I don't want to be sneezing on camera. So that was January, and then to start of February, in the best way possible, I read one of my most anticipated books of the year, which is To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. Again, if you're new here, I love this woman. I love this author so much. And yeah, this did not disappoint. I absolutely loved this. I also made a reading blog about this, so again, I'll link it up there. This book is, in this book we follow 3 different storylines, one at the end of the 19th century, 20th century, and 21st century. And yeah, the 3 stories are about different... You're gonna be able to hear that, aren't you? I would say that there's a lot of construction work going outside. I don't know if you can hear that. That's very annoying. I'm also really getting worse with my allergy, which is fantastic. What was I saying? Right, so we follow 3 different stories. They're all different, but they're interconnected. I'm not gonna say how, because you should read this book. I did cry reading this. But yeah, that's not something extraordinary. I cry at most books lately, so yeah. You can see more of my thoughts on this book in my vlog. So yeah, I'm not gonna say any more about it because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. Then, what did I do next? Oh, then I read, I think that the next book I finished, because then I started reading a couple of books at the same time. but I'm gonna go in the order in which I finished them. So the next book I finished was The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. Now, I had read The Devil and the Dark Water last December, so I was really excited to read this book. It had also been recommended to me, and it did not disappoint. Like, it was so good. So this is like a mystery kind of thing. It's like the perfect like closed room mystery, because like literally the person who is supposed to solve it cannot escape that, and he's reliving the day of the murder through like until he solves it, basically. So it's like it's like a Groundhog Day kind of thing, but with really high stakes, because if he doesn't solve it, then well, he's gonna be stuck there for eternity trying to solve it. There are so many twists that I did not see coming, so that's what I like. That's what I most enjoy in a mystery, is the ability to surprise me. Highly recommendable. Can't wait to read more from this author, because I really did enjoy the 2 books I've read. Then, what did I finish next? Okay, then I read the Montague Siblings series by Mackenzie Lee. The first one, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, I had already read before, like ages ago. I think it was like 2018, 2017, I don't even remember. And then I kind of just forgot about it, that it was supposed to be a series. And then last year I was like, oh no, I need to like finish it. So I got the next few books. I still haven't got the third one, the final one, because it's still very expensive to buy. So yeah, I'm waiting until the price goes down. So anyway, this is book 1.5. It's a short novella that goes in between 1 and 2, and this is the second one, The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, which is like my favorite title of all time. Is that? Okay, there was literally a plane going overhead now. Like, the universe is conspiring against me doing this video. So anyway, this series is about, well, the Montague siblings. In the first one, we have Monty, who is going on his grand tour of Europe, which was a common thing to do back in the 18th century, and well, it continued actually, like when you finish high school or your studies before you go to university, people would travel around Europe. And he goes with his best friend, and his sister is accompanying them also, because she's going to a finishing school somewhere. And then things happen to them. So this is historical fiction, kind of YA-ish. There's also some sort of fantasy element, or at least magical realism, something going on there. And it's about their adventures through Europe, and I really enjoyed all of these books. The second one, we follow Felicity, who is Monty's sister, and as she struggles to be accepted into any university to become a doctor, because that's what she wants to do. And then she's also involved in some sort of adventure thing. I really like the themes that are explored in all of these. There's LGBTQIA representation in all of them. It also explores a lot of topics like I don't know, trauma and abuse, and there's a lot of discussions about race and discrimination, because one of the characters has dark skin, and for those times in Europe, you know. The second book explores a lot of topics, well, feminism obviously, and how women were, you know, not allowed to do certain things, and how women were barred from certain circles. Also friendship, like female friendship. I really like reading books that explore female friendship. I don't think that's done enough in books. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy this series, and I can't wait to read the last one when I can finally buy it. Okay, what did I finish next? Okay, the next book I finished was a non-fiction book, and it's in Spanish. It's called La Inquietud y el Sentido de Horacio Bernardo. It's a philosophy book. I know the author, that's why I got the book, because I really like the way that he talks and he explains ideas as a philosopher. So yeah, it was really good. It's about how I'll put the cover here because I already lent it to my dad. That's why I don't have the physical copy. So it's a philosophy book. It's about how we should really think about like our day-to-day activities and the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, because those take up most of our waking hours, I guess. So things like having breakfast, going to work, the commute, what we do in our jobs, the chores that we have to do in our houses, getting together with friends, all of those kind of things, they make up like 75% of our time, and we usually don't even think about them because they're so common. Like, we tend to elide them, because when someone asks you, oh, how was your day, maybe you would talk about the extraordinary things that happen to you, or the strange things, or the things that are out of the ordinary. I just said that. Anyway, so the interesting thing that he proposes is that we should try to find meaning in all of those things that we do, because yeah, it's another way of giving more meaning to our lives and how we can then transcend our life. I thought it was super interesting. His writing style is super easy to follow, even though he might be, proposing some difficult concepts. He gives a lot of examples, and yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's from a Uruguayan author here, so probably not something that you will come across if you're an international viewer. And then the last two books are also rereads. First, we have The Watchmaker of Filigree Street by Natasha Pulley, my favorite author. This was my third reread, so why did I read this again? That's because it's Katie from Books and Things' fault. Yeah, totally her fault. She decided to host read-along throughout February on Goodreads, and I had to. I just had to. There were discussion boards and things, and I just wanted to go back to this world a little bit. So yeah, we read 2 chapters a day. I actually went ahead and tabbed it. It's the first time I've actually tabbed a book. I don't know if I did it right, but yeah, I tabbed my favorite moments or quotes that I like, or things that make the plot. Anyway, so this book, in case you don't know, and I will talk about this forever if you ask me to. So this is set in Victorian London. Nathaniel, our main character, goes back to his room in a boarding house or whatever, and he finds a watch there, like an old tiny watch, which won't open, so it's a mystery. He doesn't know who gave it to him, whatever. And then he's involved in the bombing of Scotland Yard by some Irish nationalists, and the watch actually saves him. So then he goes to find the watchmaker. I can't with this book. There are so many good things about it. The plot is exquisite, because this is historical fiction, but also speculative, because there's some magical realism things going on here. So yeah, or fantasy, I don't know what you would call it. I prefer calling it magical realism, because yeah, I don't know, I just really, really love it. I want everyone to read it. It has a sequel, which is called The Lost Future of Pepper Harrow, and I am really, really restraining myself to not go grab it right now and start reading it right now, because yeah, I shouldn't. I have a lot of things to read. Also, Pepper Harrow is super long, so yeah, I cannot. I don't know if I did this justice, but one day I'm gonna do a whole video on Natasha Pulley. She also has another book coming out this year, and yeah, that will be the perfect time to do a recap of Natasha Pulley's work. Stay tuned. Anyway, and then finally, I reread The End of Eternity by Isaac Asimov. I'm not going to talk about this too much, because I'm planning to do a whole video where this is involved, so, and it's going to take me a few months to do it, so this is like a secret TBR kind of thing. But basically, it's a science fiction. Obviously, it's Isaac Asimov, and it's about time traveling, as the name might hint at. I read this when I was a teenager, and I finished it yesterday, and yeah, I remember now why I loved it so much when I was a teenager and I was obsessed with science fiction. So stay tuned for that reading vlog, which will come in a few months, because I have quite a few books to get through for this type of video. So anyway, that's it. Those are my 10 books. Wow. Anyway, that's it for this video. The next thing you'll see from me is probably my March weekly vlogs, which I plan to do, but we'll see how it goes because I am participating in a readathon. It's called the Roll of Reads readathon, and it's hosted by Mel from a book fiend named Mel here on YouTube. I'll link my video, my TBR video for that, and Mel's announcement video in case you still want to participate, because it's the whole month. So yeah, I have 6 books to read for that readathon. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'll get through all of them because I start classes next week. I'm gonna try to do as much reading as possible this week because I'm still on holiday, because it's Carnaval, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you have read in these past few months, and if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, happy reading!